pure. That's what I am.
Alright everybody, how you guys doing? It's Super Saiyan Paul. Today we're going to be talking about Xenoverse 3, some of the expectations we have from the future Dragon Ball games, our wish list, things that they could potentially add, and some more things that we could have expected coming in the near future, hopefully. Maybe next year, not this one, because as we know, Xenoverse 2 is slated to have DLC for the rest of the year, so that's out of the water. But in the background, you're going to see me playing some Xenoverse 2 clips. Make sure you guys come through. We're streaming on twitch.tv/Super Saiyan Paul. We're doing PvP, PvE, all the parallel quests, raids, having a good fun time. We have a really good audience. They're just like the old days where we was pulling hundreds of people on those streams, so it's been a lot of fun, and we're going to be continually playing this every other day, just trying to keep the fandom alive on the game since it's going to be supported for the rest of the year. We got UI Goku dropping in June, sometime this summer if anything, and I wanted to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on what they could potentially add for Xenoverse 3. So based on what we saw with Xenoverse 2, right? Xenoverse 2 came out in 2016. It's currently 2022. It's been years since this game released, and they still have been supporting it. Now remember, from Xenoverse 1 to 2, it was only a couple of years they had to develop it. So that's why at base launch, everybody, including myself, was calling Xenoverse 2. It was what Xenoverse 1 should have felt like, and at the same time, it felt like Xenoverse 1.5 in a sense. Now it's kind of taken its own thing because they've added so many characters, they've added so many transformations. But I want you guys to explain to me, what do you guys think in the comment section below? Does it still feel like Xenoverse 1.5, or are you guys like in the same group where it's made its own name for itself? So for Xenoverse 3, looking into it, at the ending of the story, we had Mira and Toa. They fused together because Mira did absorb her, and he did get decimated. Now, there's other DLC that was added and other things like that. We had Fu get introduced afterwards as the story progressed. So we had Deborah relating himself to Toa, which was also introduced in the first game, I believe, because of the Demon Realm. And then they had Fu come in as the next successor, and then he was wreaking havoc throughout the storylines, going through every timeline, messing everything up in the multiverse of Dragon Ball. But what had happened is we covered everything that they didn't do, which was basically the ending of Super. They did the Broly movie, so basically almost every piece of content's been covered. Now, if they were to make Xenoverse 3, which is why I can kind of see why they haven't jumped into it just yet, they don't really have that much left. What we'd have right now with this current point of time is the Moro arc to cover, which they've completed that, but they haven't animated that, so they wouldn't really know everything and how it's done yet, because usually they use the animated show as like a storyboard, and then we have the Granola arc. Now, the superhero movie can be thrown into that as well, because that's just going to be right out there. I guess that would be the next thing, but there's not that much content to cover other than the movies that they haven't already covered. So it's weird. It's going to be in a weird spot. For me, as a wish list, you know, it would be a really cool concept if they did, instead of doing Xenoverse 3, there's a few of them. There would be either, let's say we did Budokai Tenkaichi Remastered or Tenkaichi 4, where they would just add Tag Team, which is what they had on the PSP as a mode. They would add the super characters, everything up until the Broly movie, even maybe Moro, because his arc is completed, but they haven't animated it, so you can't really say that that character is ready to be fleshed out. You gotta see all the way that the character fights in the show and stuff like that, and whatever personality and voice acting they give to that. So that one can be held off, but adding all the super characters, all of the movie characters, and then adding some kind of online leaderboard, that would be dope. I feel like that should be the next move. If not, same thing with Budokai, same exact concept. Now, if we don't do that, let's say if we do Xenoverse or something in that realm again. Remember Dragon Ball MMO? For me, one of my wish lists, I don't know how tough this would be to pull off, or if they could even pull this off at all, but that's the whole concept of Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2, where they took Mira and Toa from the Dragon Ball MMO, and they basically made like the most watered down version of an MMO with like MMO-esque type of things from Xenoverse 1 and 2, and they threw it into a game. Now, if they were to take that, take a game like DC Universe Online and kind of mix it together. Let's say if you were able to play the Dragon Ball MMO story with updated graphics, you were playing an RPG with all of your friends, and you were able to use a controller, so all the moves are mapped to a controller instead of a keyboard, and it's all in English. I think that would sell, because we've already gotten Dragon Ball Fighters, we've gotten Dragon Ball Kakarot, we've gotten Xenoverse, we've gotten all of these different games, and some more that I'm probably missing, like Limit Breaker, or not, the Time Breaker game is coming out, and all these other things, all these RPGs, all of these other games. You take all of these elements, fuse them together, put it on a controller, on an MMO. I think you got something here. Xenoverse MMO and Mirror and Toa stories told the same way it was in the MMO. I think that would fit. The time patroller story, all of that would work. And I think having dungeons and bosses and stuff fought with just a controller in your hand, I think that would be a pretty damn good idea. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Would that be too crazy? Because Dragon Ball MMO was insanely popular, and I love the fact that Xenoverse took some of those concepts and they brought that to life. We got to see Mirror and Toa fully voice acted, put into some amazing graphics, and I was happy when I saw that, because for so many years we were wishing for it. It came true. Not to the fullest, but they have those mechanics there, bro. They made fighters, they made Kakarot. They can do this type of stuff. Like if you take Kakarot's RPG elements and you combine that with Xenoverse's elements, and then you just add MMO stuff, which I know they can do, and like DC Universe Online where they have it on the controller, bro, you have something there. And the base game of Dragon Ball MMO is still out there on the internet where fans are playing with it. So I don't think it's that far-fetched. I don't think it's that crazy, but let me know what you guys think. Would you guys want to see, instead of Xenoverse 3, or if they were to make Xenoverse 3, what would you guys want them to add? Because them adding Moro, them adding Granola, them adding the superhero movie characters, out of the three, I think it's only the superhero movie characters that we could expect, because that movie was supposed to come out like any day now, but it's being delayed till like later because of the hack. But whatever androids they add in that one, those two androids, and then plus whoever's in that orb, that could be whatever they decide to throw into the game, or even Xenoverse 2 towards the end of the year. But for Xenoverse 3, that's still kind of fresh off if they want to throw into a story mode, something like that. The Moro arc, when that eventually comes back, that could also get animated, but Granola's is like a far-fetched one. Even Moro's is a stretch because it's not even shown up in animated form, like I said before. So let me know what you guys think. Would you rather see that, or would you want to see Budokai or Tenkaichi remastered with some online leaderboards, with some online connectivity? We could have multiple people in a lobby, each person choosing a character, some tag team mode with some rankings and stuff like that. I feel like that would work pretty damn good, especially with remastered graphics. Even if you have to use Xenoverse's graphics, I think that would be great, even if it's just Tenkaichi's fighting system and it's not as blocky as Xenoverse 2 and the netcode is up there, because we got it with fighters and stuff like that. So maybe they can add that, but either Budokai or Tenkaichi. And then let's say if you don't use either of those, let's see if we get Xenoverse MMO. That would be pretty damn cool. I feel like if you brought Dragon Ball MMO, put it together with Xenoverse, because it kind of fits, because it's the same characters that they were based off of in the first place, it fit it onto a controller, you got something absolutely amazing. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This has been Super Saiyan Paul, and I'm going to be signing out. Young Money Baby. Also, new information and updates as we were recording this video. Dragon Ball Super Superhero has a new release date. It will be released in June 11th to be precise. We still don't have an international release date, even though it got delayed, but we're hoping to see more on that. Hopefully, because of this delay, it was giving us more time for the Funimation or the American crews to get the English voiced up acted onto this, but we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, it comes within like the same amount of time span. Like maybe this could be a summer blockbuster for us too, rather than us wait months on end. Remember, the Broly movie had come out in December, and I believe by January is when we got it in English dub, so it doesn't take that long. And with this delay, this could probably bring that into more of an alignment. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys are going to be seeing this, are you guys going to have ways of finding this? Are you guys going to be scouring the internet? Let me know. Interesting stuff. At least we get it released soon, because like we said, this is going to take place after the events of the Granola arc. So we're going to be catching up on a lot of stuff, including with characters like Broly and whatnot. So the Gohan and Piccolo main story, I'm still here for it. I'm still a Dragon Ball fan at heart, so I will be supporting it. Catch you guys next time. All right. Take care.